while we're on yen, I guess we could look at some other yen crosses. Let's look at euro yen. Go to a weekly chart. Okay, euro yen weekly chart. This is log scale. See this thick black line that goes back to 2012? That's going to be up near 137.50. That is the high from 2018. That is an objective to pay attention to. Go to the daily. Again, if you pull back here, clear as day in terms of where support should be. And it should be at the top side of this former resistance line, which I now have in blue. And that's going to be like 132.70 or so. All right. Again, these things can happen quick little pullback, and then take it higher. Pound yen. Weekly chart here. Again, we're just looking at simple levels here, and that's all you need to do. We've broken out in these yen crosses, and the next big level on pound yen is, call it like 164. You can see 164 is just beautiful, right? Ding, 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 ding. Resistance actually like pre-Brexit. And support is former resistance right here. And that's going to be 158.20s right there. Kiwi yen. I actually posted this chart on Twitter yesterday, and this is an important thing too. When I mention, usually my charts are all log scale, but it's important to make note of when they're not, and this is one time when they're not. So this is log scale, okay? This is arithmetic scale. Again, I'm not saying one is necessarily the right one all the time, or whatnot, but in this case, the arithmetic scale trend line is actually pretty well defined. Like, it was resistance back here in 2019. We've now reached it. Okay. I actually had, oh, here, this was a chart I actually posted. Yeah, it's a little more defined. So this here, all these pivots, former highs, former support, that is 84.07. So, oops. So the way to kind of go about this is, if you were to drop below 84, I would take that as a signal that you could try to trade just on the short side. Until then, I really don't have any interest in trying to fade this. I will note, so check this out. And this is the longest term chart I have for Kiwi yen, right? And I think it only goes back to like the 90s or something. But RSI yesterday, the RSI on daily RSI, the reading yesterday was 88.93. It's the highest ever. In fact, the only one that's even close was right here, and that was December 5th of 2005. And that was 88.23, that reading. And you can see here, at that point, we actually dropped like 9 big figures over the course of like 3 weeks. I'm not saying that's happening here, could, but it's just an observation. I don't know, an RSI reading on Kiwi yen, this isn't Bitcoin, right? At close to 90, it does seem like maybe a little overdone. Anywho, we shall see. All right, so there's that. CAD yen's also a very interesting chart, especially on a very long-term basis. So here's the channel. Doesn't get much clearer than this. If I were writing a textbook on channeling, this would probably be in there. It's a beauty. So we are into kind of that channel resistance level. If I go back to a longer term chart, we have broken a pretty darn important trend line definitively. If we get a pullback from the channel up here, which makes sense, go back to the daily chart, watch for support some point, near the middle of the channel. That's simple. Again, I'm showing you all these charts from my trading, my own trading, how I do things. I tend to focus. It's not to say, excuse me, I need more coffee. It's not to say that I don't ever trade, non-dollar crosses, but I tend to focus on just the dollar crosses. And if I find myself in a cross trade, so be it. Like, so right now I'm long some Aussie, but if say we pull back Aussie and we test that trend line near 74, and I want to, get bigger on Aussie, right? So be it. Let's say that dollar yen pulls back at some point next couple of weeks or whatever, or longer, and we end up at 118s, and maybe I buy dollar yen. Well, now I'm long Aussie yen, right? I'm not trading Aussie yen, but I am long Aussie yen, if that makes sense. So that's how I focus. It just kind of simplifies it, I think, for me. Again, that's not to say there's not a cross trade here and there, because sometimes, like let's say that Kiwi yen chart we just looked at. Let's say that we do start to get some downside, even on an intraday chart, some clear impulsive action, just given what I just talked about. Maybe I'll take a flyer with a tight stop, right? Who knows? You got to be opportunistic as well. All right, so we looked at, I think, all the yen crosses of interest. Don't forget, okay, we revamped our funded trader program. So go to ScandinavianMarkets.com/getfunded. And that'll take you here. You can read all about it. Get funded with up to $2 million to trade with us, okay, our capital. And we're looking for trading talent. So there's an assessment that needs to be passed, of course, but come check it out. Again, there's no time constraints, unlike some of the other firms that do this. No time constraints. There, you don't have to make X amount in X amount of time, right? Trading doesn't work like that. And yeah, we are looking for trading talent, so come check us out. Again, ScandinavianMarkets.com/getfunded. Okay.